Hey everybody, this is the Vacuum Doctor, and I've got a really good video for you guys today, something special, something you don't really see. This is going to be a great video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to properly service and clean your Dyson V10, okay? No matter if it's a V10 Animal, like I have here, V10 Cyclone, all V10s, the majority are the same. Okay, this is a bit of an older model of the V10s. The newer ones will have the tangle free, and that's about it. Okay, they're exactly similar, no difference. It's just the screen and the brush bar. That's it. I'm gonna be showing you how to take this apart completely, bit by bit, and we're gonna go from there. Okay, so we're gonna start with the biggest and hardest thing first. Might as well get out of the way with. And if you can do this, you can do the rest. So we're going to start with the Cyclone, the handle, and gas. Make sure to look in the description what tools you're going to need if you can't remember. But for this video, we're going to need a T8 Torx screwdriver. We're going to need a Phillips head. We're going to need a flathead screwdriver. We're going to need pliers. We're going to need needle nose pliers, excuse me. And I just want to let you guys know that some things here that we could take apart, you guys might break. And it's not that you've broken it, it's already means that it's being broken. So for example, we're going to be taking apart the bin seal, yes? And if it has a lot of built up debris and dirt, some of the seals there and some of the clips on it might already be broken. It's just being held in, but when we take it apart, it might break apart. So I'm going to tell you before we take something apart, do it at your own risk, but most likely in some cases it shouldn't break if it's well looked after. But let's start the video. First, we want to remove the battery, and to remove the battery, we're going to need our Phillips head, like I said, and there's 3 screws, okay? So make sure you get things like these. I'll show you the screws, don't worry. And we want to put them around here. Just so you know, you have a place where you're going to put your screws. So I have a place here for Phillips heads, Torx, etc. So let's start from the start. Firstly, we want to remove 3 screws. 1 here, and then 2 there, okay? These screws have already been taken out as it's a customer's, and we'll get that fixed for another time. So make sure you take that off. Next, what you want to do is we want to take off the bin, okay? Now, if your bin completely comes off, that means you're going to need to replace the bin runner, okay? I have a video about that. I'll link it in the description below, how to replace the bin runner here, but that's only if this falls off completely. If it stops here, it doesn't need to be replaced. Now put this main body to the side. We're going to focus on the bin here. Now, as you can see, it's very dusty. It's called a dustbin after all. And we're going to start here at the bottom. Now, what I recommend you do is that you just get a tub or a bucket that you can fill up, or you're just going to put this in your sink, do whatever you want, okay? Because the parts that I tell you to put aside is what we're going to wash. And yeah, so what we're going to do is that we're going to take off the bin lid. Now, to take off the bin lid, like I said, you're going to need a flathead screwdriver. To remove this part, we're going to hold the bin like so. Put this down a little bit, and then our goal is to get here a flathead right there. Push, and then I'm gonna lean this part against my body so I can do this for you guys, and you do what's easier for you, okay? And then we just want to kind of like push to the side, and you gotta try that. Okay, just push to the side here. Make sure you got in.
Sometimes it can be a little tricky. It's only a little tricky for me right now is because I'm not doing it the way I like to, and I'm doing it the way I want to show you guys. So in there and just flat out, just like that, and that will come off. Okay, so this comes off, and then what you want to do is you want to take this off. Now this is optional. You can wash this if you want, but you can just leave this and wipe it with a dry cloth, I guess. But we're going to put this in the wash, so rubber seal in the wash. And to remove this, we're going to move this thing here. Okay, just pull it right off. Put it in your little bucket. Now to take this out, you can use your hands, but I'm going to use my needle nose pliers. And I'm just going to grab this. And it's just going to make my life a little bit easier. Be careful, you don't want to break this. So we just want to be gentle as possible. Put these two in your bucket or in your sink where you want to wash. Okay. Next, we're going to take this bin seal off. T8 Torx screwdriver. One screw right here. And just move gently. Okay, now this is the size of that T8. It's really small, so don't get this mixed up. So put it on the side where your bin stuff is. And now with your flathead screwdriver, we want to take the bin seal out. Then we want to put our clip, so these clips here, 1, 2, and we'll put a flathead screwdriver in, and we just want to pop to these clips. Okay, that one there, just so, and then that one there. Okay, once those are done, you can freely pull it out, and you see all this has dog hair built up, and you can kind of see if you see on this that it's like it's showing, so it's like got creases and showing. I recommend not taking it apart, just giving it a wipe down, because it's most likely broken inside. Okay, and it's just being held in. You can't glue it. You can, but it's just going to fail again. But we're taking it apart now. So this is a deep clean. Flathead screwdriver. And we want to get in. You see where the screw came out? This part here. So we want to put a flathead in there. We want to press. And then it opens. Okay, and then just trace it around. Just be careful not to hurt yourself. And if you need to replace this, it's called a bin seal, and you can buy them for around 15-20 bucks on Amazon. And then I just take them out as so. But we'll look over here, there's a few clips, and we're going to feel if they're wobbly or not. So let's have a look here. 1, 2, 3, and we just feel them with our thumb. If they're wobbly, they're broken. Okay, if they're still, don't be rough with them, but you just want to feel they're good. So they feel good. You want to put that in your bucket or whatever. You want to put these as well. Throw your bin in there as well. Okay, so you've done the bin. Now the hard part. So we want to, these are your screws, remember that, for the bin? Put them to the side. Take off your filter. Now as customers, this is clearly a third-party filter, okay? To clean the filter, link in the description how to clean the filter for a V10 properly. But what you want to do, as we have it here, fill it with water, wash around this whole thing with water, fill it with water, give it a shake, 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 keep shaking it until the water runs clear, no dirt coming out, okay? We don't want to put that in soapy water. We want to wash that with cold water only. Next, we're going to remove the Cyclone. To do that, Phillips head. A Phillips head screwdriver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And lastly, number 6 here. Remove those 6 screws with your Phillips. Okay, make sure you get 6 of those out. And just pull, okay? So this is this screw. That's the Phillips head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Phillips head screws. Now put them wherever you know how to put them. And yeah. We want to take off the slider bar here. Right here on the slider bar for a T8 Torx screw. So T8 Torx screwdriver, remove. And this will come apart. Take out the screw. You might need to poke it out. Okay, there it is. Now I put this because sometimes I forget with my bin screws because it's a little bigger. Nothing else is going in there, so I will not forget. Put this in the bin. So in the bin. My bad. You know. Put this in your bucket or whatever. Next, this is the part that gets dirty. Okay, we're going to take this fully, completely apart to the wiring. You do not have to do this, of course. If you're too scared to take this apart, do not take apart what I'm doing, the wiring part. But what you want to do is, let's start by this. This is for everyone. Your T8 Torx screw. I got a drill. And we're going to remove 7 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. So all around the Cyclone, and then down the bottom here. 1, 2, 3. Let's remove those. Okay, so these are the bottom ones. They're longer. And these ones are the top ones. They're shorter. You can see that these are completely different. Now put them in your Cyclone. So that's your Cyclone pile there. And now, if you don't want to take this apart, this is for the people that don't want to take it apart. You just want to open this up. And you just want to blow it out, okay? Air compress it out. Blow it out with your Ryobi blower or the leaf blower, whatever you have. Hairdryer, blow this out. Do not wash any of this because there's wires here. Okay, just blow it out and just give it a little damp cloth wipe around, and that's, you know, basically all you can do. But if we're taking it apart, let's start from the next step. We got a flathead screwdriver, and we're gonna go. We're gonna put this. We're gonna take our flathead, and in this corner, right here, we're going to put our flathead in, and we're just going to kind of force this out towards us. Okay, we want to force this just like that. We want to force this wiring apart to us. And to make sure that you didn't break it, of course, is that you can push it back, but don't push it all the way back, and you can feel that there's a bit of resistance. So if there's a bit of resistance, means it's good, okay? If there's no resistance and sliding back in, you just broke it, okay? So please be careful. Now undo this part here. This is the wiring. And I see people using bloody chopsticks to get this out and complicated plastics. No, you just do it like that, okay? It's so much easier. Like this, as so. Put this all in your bucket or whatever you're cleaning, okay? Next, this part is very tricky. You need a bit of muscle, okay? but we're going to try and make it easier for us. We need to pull this off, but it's resisting us from this area here. And then we just want to loosen it up, okay? We're going to have a flathead screwdriver, and we're just going to look in here, and we're just going to get a flathead, and we're just going to try to, you know, push some of this dirt out, because that's going to be what's blocking the way, okay? And then if we can look in here, you just want to do, you see this, if it's not blurry, this right here next to it, we just want to push down, okay, and like this, and then we just want to try to pull apart, okay? So you can just try and pull apart, do it against your body if you can. Make sure you're not wearing good clean clothes, or my fiance tells me off, but make sure we're gonna pull, okay? And you want to do it against your body, because that's where we produce the most strength, okay? So against your body, and then I'm gonna do it over here because it's hard. Okay, and once you feel it, you see this part here comes off, okay? And then we can just wiggle it out. Like I said, this part is hard, so try the strategy that I just told you, and then you get eventually, all right? You've got all that shit it takes out. Put that to the side. 4 more screws, okay? So this is how we look at it. We see our Cyclone like this. Then we want to turn it like this, and we're going to see our screws. 1, 2, 2 here, skip, and 2 more, okay? 1, 2, no screws here, and then 2 more over here, okay? That's just something to remember, because that's the pattern we're going to have to put it back in. Next, this will come apart. Take this assembly off, the Cyclone radius here. It'll be a bit tricky, okay? That's off. This part's off. These parts, this is off. So you just want to take this off. Be careful not to rip it. Gentle. Gentle like you're handling a baby, okay? Just very gentle. To the side. This part here. At this wiring, if you have kids or, you know, toddlers or anything, you get a plastic fork. So these little durable forks, and I use the end to poke out. You can use a flathead, but you gotta be very careful. And our goal is to push it out. So you see where the wires are? Those wires right there, I'm gonna push from here. And I'm just not gonna push hard. I'm just gonna put a little bit of strength, but not too hard, okay? And we wanna push down until you hear a pop, okay? Not too hard, okay? And it goes down, just like so. It went down, okay? Then this will come up. Be careful or it'll break. These are very fragile. If you break these, you're in a bit of trouble, okay? Some will have this on it, some won't. So this helps just keeps the ends in point so it doesn't fall off. And we're going to put this in our little screw part here. And then we're going to grab our flathead screwdriver, and at the back of it, it's got this little hinge we just want to push against. Okay, just to open it's like a little, yeah, we just got to force open this little door. Okay, and it comes out. And it comes out, white wire on the right, black one on the left. Put this in your little thing. And then what you want to do now is that this will come off, and then this will come out. Wiring. And there we've taken apart the Cyclone completely. That was the hardest part, in my opinion, out of anything, taking apart the Cyclone, okay? And then you just want to grab your bucket, and then you want to wash it. And now we're going to start taking apart the motor. Great, so we got our Reassemble handle motor here. And we want to take this apart now. You don't have to, but this is how we service it, okay? So we're going to get our T82 Torx screwdriver. 1, 2 screws. Remove those 2 screws and it will release this case in here that covers the motor. Make sure you get your little bucket. Oh, these are the screws, what the screws look like. Okay. There. Now we want to get a flathead screwdriver in this little crevice here. Okay, lift that up, and then the up one, this little crevice here, and that will come apart. And then you get it like this. And then you want to push, and push if you can, and then this comes off. Put this in your bucket. And now welcome, this is your motor motherboard, okay? This is a place where you want to be careful and you don't want to break things. But anyways, this is our trigger wire here. Take this off, we're gonna flick it with our nail. And it comes out just like so. To remove these, you of course use a T8, but I'm gonna use pliers so we don't blunt them because they feel like they're a bit Loctite, don't they? Okay, so what I do so we don't blunt them, so I grab the screw and I just twist. Just twist once, grab the screw, just twist once, grab your T8's Torx screwdriver or your drill, whatever you're using, take it apart just like that. How easy is that? These are the screws. You cannot mistake them. They're unlike any other screws you see in Dysons. Put them to the side. Now, this red clip, this red motor trigger thing, put that out. You can't take it out, but put it away from this. Now, your Dyson, don't drop it like I just did. And then you push out. That motor assembly will come out. Okay? And now, what you can do is also you can flick this a bit off and this will come off. Okay, and this is a little chip for the max mode, and these are all our settings. Okay, this is for the 3 modes that we use in the little chip. Put that on where you get your trigger. Next, flathead right here. Up. Look at that. Get your flathead and take out this, and this we're gonna wash. Put that in your little bucket and you know where you put this? Nowhere. You clap. Get this and you clap all that dust out. Okay. Now if yours is really dirty like this, you just want to grab a toothbrush. Just want to get rid of all that dirt. Okay. Want to get rid of it, you can brush make sure it's dry, yeah? Brush the board, brush underneath the board, brush the rubber seals, and brush it all around. And then give it a spray out with your air compressor or anything like that. Now you've taken apart the motor, we're going to take apart the handle, your T8, 2 screws, 1, 2. These ones are small as well. Put them where your motor one is. Flathead. Up. And then turn these to the side. And you want to pull. Be careful you don't pull this wire in here. Like I said, turn these to the side. And you're going to pull. This will come off. Put that in your bucket. In here, there's 1 screw. That 1 screw there is a T8 screw. Grab your T8 Torx screwdriver. And take it out, okay? This is what it looks like. Pretty easy. We're gonna grab our pliers and we're gonna pull from there. Now we're just gonna inspect and we're gonna look. Any cracks in there? No, that looks fine to me. One more place, we're gonna look in here. Are there any cracks in this screw holder in here? Do you see that screw holder? If there's a crack, if it's cracked or broken off, you're gonna need to replace the handle here. Okay. So that looks fine. Guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna put this in our bucket too. You've done the hardest parts. Now we've got the head. This head's pretty simple. It can be difficult, but I'm gonna show you. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. You can only do parts that you feel like you can do, okay? So, we wanna take this out. People use screwdrivers? No. You wanna use a coin. Anti-clockwise. Brush bar comes out. Now, if your black bristles are all the way worn, you need to replace the brush bar. This part, in the bucket. To take apart the brush bar, it has it's a T8/T10, depending on what day it is, but because it's a T10. So we're gonna use our T10. But I'm gonna show you that you can use a T8 as well. Okay, and we're going to remove that screw. And then sometimes you can just pop this out. And if you can't, flathead. And our goal is to pry it up, that flathead. So you have that little thing down the bottom. We just want to pry this up. Make sure not to break it. You see here, this has corrosion, means water has got to it. We can use some electrical spray or something to get rid of, just wipe it away. You don't want to put this in a bucket, okay? So you just want to put that to the side where you'll get your little one here. Put that for your thing. And then you want to take this off. Take this out. Comes in 2 pieces. And one more you can slide out. And then the brush bar or wash. Now for the head, turn it like this towards you. Flathead screwdriver. And then there's these little 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 little holes. Up. 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 This comes out, and then you can just slide this out. Sometimes it'll be very hard because it's got dirt and debris build up all in it. So you gotta try your best to take that off. Next, we got a few screws to remove. Okay, T8. We're gonna remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this is 6. This is just for the people that want to do. Just clean the screen, get everything out. But we're going to go in here too with the wiring as well. It's not that bad. The one down here. This one's different from them all. Just grab that. Small. Okay. Now for the last 2. And 1, 2 here. And you want to get all the screws that dropped out. Double check any screw stuff. 1 here. Okay. Now, go to the side and lift. Put your finger here. This open. Put your fingers on the other side and take the bar off, put that in the wash. And then next, we want to unclip this part here. It's pretty easy. Lift it up, trace it, undo, to the side, clip, trace it, and then you just want to take the screen off. That's the screen, water. And if this black seal falls off when washing it, that's okay, doesn't really matter. Now take this out. I'm gonna hold the motor like I'm holding it here like this. Spread this, and then towards yourself, you wanna kind of jiggle it out like that, okay? To remove this, got a hand here, and got my hand around this, and you're like jiggling it as well. What ankle pulls out, and you wanna pull to the left, and that comes out. Cool. Now this has got wheels here, they look okay, but I'm going to show you how to take them out. Screwdriver, and you see right here, that has a space there, that has a space there. So from the inner ones, we want to put a screwdriver in, and we want to push. That one's good. Next one, and push. That one's good too. Okay. Now they're kind of out. We want the flathead. Well, while we're holding the flathead, we want to get a pliers and just take them out. Okay, make sure not to lose it. This is the middle rod, and that's the wheel. Put them on the side. Now, same thing to the last wheel. I want to put our pliers inside there to lift it open a bit. Flathead, and then our pliers to take it out. Cool. Now, I don't recommend people to go any further really for servicing, but we've gone and we're doing a detail. So if people are just a bit scared here, just give it a wipe down, damp cloth around this bit, around here, not too wet, inside here and around here. If your wheels look like this, they need replacing. They're going to be scratching your hard floor, okay? So get these wheels off. Phillips head screwdriver. That comes off and the wheels come off completely. If they look like this, throw them out. And you want to get new ones. They're called V-wheels. Okay, you can buy V-wheels online. Here, throw out. Okay, now if you want to go deeper, you can. Just keep watching. We're going to remove 4 more screws. 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one will be over here. You can reach to it. The side ones, right here, look like this. They have a metal part there. See the metal part? That's what they look like. Now the back one, however, is a smaller one. And you don't want to drop them like I just did, because if you drop it, they're gone. Small one. Okay, get the other side. Okay, they're out. So next, we just want to open it up like this. Push this little part here down. And then the wiring here, you want to take apart. Be careful not to, if it's too hard, don't rip it too much, because sometimes that gets stuck in there. Okay, the wiring goes off. And now you can push this part out. And then you can wash that. Next, flathead screwdriver part in here. We just kind of want to pry this, same here. Pry that part out, okay? Make sure there's no cuts, no anything in the wiring, good. Next,
our goal is to get in here. See this little clip that's holding this in? Flathead. Towards me, up. Towards me, up. You see that? Very simple. Now the other side. Out. Okay? So we're just basically going in and unclipping it. T8 Torx screw again. Okay. Just leave that in there. You don't have to. This one's small. Put that to the side in your little pocket. Now, the wiring. Just take that off. Now, just untake all the wiring. Put this part. And this one. And now you're left with this. So you can just wipe it down here. Wipe this down. Don't get it wet. You just want to use a little damp wipe or a cloth. And then that's how you take apart your whole entire Dyson V10. Everything I told you that's washable, that I told you to wash it, okay? Put it how I wash it. Fill a bucket up, hot soapy water and dish soap. And you're going to scrub everything, okay? Scrub it all to all the dirt. Just let it soak too. Let that soak for a bit. So when cleaning the wand, guys, what I recommend just doing is just getting a cloth and just wiping it, just like so. If you see any paint marks, get a toothbrush and get it with Jif, or just anything like that. And then just anything in here, you just want to get your cloth and go all across in there. If you really want to get in, two Torx screw, 1, 2, and we want to undo those, and then you can push those out, and then you can just clean it all around if you really want to. But just go get your cloth and clean just around, okay? Same here. Get a cloth. Make sure not to wipe these electrical parts here. We just want to wipe around them, okay? So just give that a clean. Inside too. Just around the best you can. Okay, and just keep going, and then you can either put something through this. So if you have something skinny enough and long enough, you can put like a cloth and you can wipe it through. Okay, but that's if you have like a pole. If not, then that's the best you can. Give it a bit of a wipe down, okay? So I just washed everything and I'm leaving it out in the sun to dry. Make sure when you're washing things, yeah, we're just giving it a shake off, okay? We give it a shake off first, and then we leave it in the sun to dry. If it's not sunny where you are, leave it inside to dry. It could take up to 2 days to be safe. To tell, just give it a shake over your hands and you're not feeling any moisture coming out or anything. It should be all good to go. All right, let's get to assembling it in this next part here. Okay, now it's time to reassemble your Dyson. Make sure you follow this part very, very carefully, because there could be some parts that we could miss. You could miss, sorry. And we don't want to do that. So we'll start with this part here. We'll grab our wires and we just want to put them back as so. Make sure it's back
as you can see, the former lines around it. Okay, make sure everything's in order. So that's good. Put that to the side. Next, I'm going to go this part here, and we want to put our wiring through in here. So we're going to grab our wiring, and just like so, the white on the left, you want to put through. And see from the other side that comes through, and push it all the way through until it stops. Then we want to grab our connector bed, it's connected to the bed, okay, and slide. I'm holding it down so it feels like it goes all the way in. Make sure it goes all the way in. Yeah. And then you just want to give it if it's like this, give it well, and then you want to give it a push. And then you hear that. It's in. Okay. Next, this part. This part. We want to put this part in here. Now, we want to have these little parts, as you can see, line up. So, where the hole is to where this hole is. And we want to line them up. Do you see how this one's a big, thick one compared to everything? We want to line this screw holder with this screw holder here. And while we do that, we want to linear this into its little place. So as you can see, we want to, you see I've missed it a bit. In there, you see on the right, there, that's where it wants to sleep while we put it in there, okay? So try. Okay. I'm going to take a few tries, but make sure you get this right. But we don't want to push all the way, like so. Right there. Next, we want to put our wiring through here. And then we just kind of want to push it all the way down. We want to line it back up. Get back into position. Good. Next, we want to grab this, and we want to put it through the hole again. And that's through. Next, you want to grab your screws. This bit is a bit tricky for us to put this part on. So, we'll grab our wiring case, and it looks like this. This position up. Okay. White on the right, black on the left. Into position. can see. Close it. And now we want to put the rubber on. Now you can kind of see how it kind of shapes up to be on. So we just want to try our best to put this on. It's meant to be tight, so it is hard sometimes. You can still put the Cyclone back on the motor, handle motor, without this on. It's just going to be a bit difficult because this holds the connector points in position perfectly, so we can put it back on. Just want to keep trying. And our goal is just to put it just below here, so it won't fall off when we push it in. Okay, that looks okay. Next, we want to give it a pull. So pull this left and pull this right, and have a look. Make sure it's not stuck in there. Anything. Okay, looks fine to me. Next, what we want to do is we want to kind of pull this out, and we want to pull this out a bit. Well, could be a bit difficult. This part usually gets stuck. Because now we're going to put the screws in and form everything, okay? Okay. Next, we're going to put this part on, and you can see it's got these two little fangs at the edge there, and then we just want to slide it across in there. And once you slide that, you're going to put your top layer part on. Make sure it's straight, make sure it's in the holes, and then we want to put our top part on. Like so. As you can see, looks great. Upside down. Now we want to put our screws in. So grab 4 of the long ones. These long ones. And where we want to put them, remember that thick part I was talking about? 2 there. 1, 2, okay. Skip. Next. Go back. Remember? Skip. Next. And you need a T8. A T8 Torx to get those down. So get your T8 Torx and screw them in. As again, want to line this up. So I'm going to go this part, lines up there, this for there. Make sure that's lined up in there. Press there, press here, press all around. Then this part can be a bit tricky sometimes. You want to put this back make sure it's lined up for the screws. And then you want to see in here, if there's any wires. If there's any wires at all inside there, that means just give it a turn, give it a 360, and give it in a better position, and then keep trying. If it doesn't work, give it 360 the other way, and keep trying, okay? So you don't want any wires to be in there. Grab your remaining 3 long screws and put them at the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Make sure to get those in. Okay, they're in. Next, our 4 small ones that was meant for up here. Okay. So in the remaining 4 screws holes. Okay, that's on. Next, we want to grab your slider bar and grab your screw. So the screw looks something like this. Now we should have put it with our bin, and I'll compare it to what our bin one looks like. So that's for our bin lid, our bin seal, and that's for our slider bar, because that's where we put it. Okay, now put this to line us up, slider bar, just like that. Okay, we're just gonna down like that, screw its hole. For the video, I'll probably just need the screwdriver, so put that in. Great. Now, that's how you reassemble the Cyclone. So that's done. Fully reassembled. If you have any issues or concerns, just let me know, comment below. I'll help you out. If it doesn't turn on after reassembling, you've stuffed up the wires somehow. The wires have gone a different way that they should. Make sure to follow the video. Okay, next we're going to reassemble the bin. Okay, grab your parts. Okay, that's all. So what we want to do is we want to start with the bin lid. So, if any of these seals that I recommend that you should do after washing them is either spray a bit of WD-40 around them, or what I do that helps the seals not get stuck when you open the bin. It just helps a bit more. I just use a bit of baby powder, and I put a bit of baby powder, like so, around the seals. So this is the baby powder going around the seals and inside as well, just to help it move a bit and keep it so it doesn't stick and break parts easier. Okay, so the baby powder, so we want to around the seal. Make sure you get in here because this is where the Cyclone will go for the bin. So this is a choice. This is what I'll do. Definitely a good idea if you frequently take this apart, because I do see people online and some people are a bit scared to take things apart. Some people say that with the Dysons, they can only take apart once, like IKEA things, and it'll break. Like I've seen a lot of people just, judge Dyson and all that stuff, which is fair. People can have their own opinions about things. So anyways, what we want to do is, you see these two little things? We want to line up with these ones. So we want to pull it in like so, and next we'll go around. Make sure not to break this part here, just be gentle. And you want to go around, you want to line everything up. See, that's on perfectly now, as you can see. Next is this part. You just want to chuck it on. And with your thumb, with my thumb and my thumbnail, around the creases here, I'm just going to go around like so. You can just give it a little push down as well. Go around with the thumb, keep going, keep it going. Keep going, and you can also get your Cyclone part and push it down on it and just give it a bit of a line up, okay? Okay, and then take it off. Okay, that looks fine. You just want to keep going around. Next, this part might be a bit tricky for some people. So we got a little spring here, of course, and this is the goal. We want to put it left like this way first into your Dyson, so like this, and that's like that, okay? And then we just want to push in if we can until it builds a resistance. You see, it's resist because it went in there, okay? So that's what's needed. And to put this in the bin, we want to first line it up, middle, and we want to grab this part here while it's bent, okay? Next, we want to grab the bin, turn it around, and we want to put it in the left hole, as you can see there. And we want to get this part in. It can be very, very tricky. Okay, I'm going to put my other hand there. And we just want to kind of shift that in. And then if it can, push it in, up. And that's on. There you go. So, we push that to the left, in, up. Can take a few tries, guys. I know that bit's a bit tricky for people. This is a seal here. I'm going to power this up. This is the procedure I follow, guys, so you don't have to do this once again. Okay, so this just helps out. Moves a little bit funkier. Okay, so now this bit can be a little tricky as well. What you want to do, chuck it on. You want to see on here there's little bites out of it. You want to line them up with them clips all around. You want to see those lined up. That's lined up. Is that lined up? Yep.
That one, yep. Yep. Next, you want to grab this cover. And you see that notch here? I'll put it with the line it up with this part here, because as you can see, there's a little notch there. So we want to lift up the red part a little bit, if you can. Like I said, this part can be tricky. And you want to try and close it around. And you want to go around trying to close it while lifting up some of that red part. Okay, that's done. Sometimes the seals might not go in, but you just got to feel around, because if it doesn't go in, it means your clip might be broken. Okay, now if the clip's broken, you go on Amazon, pay $10 for one of these. It's called a bin seal for your V10, V11. They'll probably send you one without a rubber on it, but that's completely fine. Next, we want to line up the screw with the screw holder. Sorry, the screw holder with the screw holder. And we want to press around. And we want to make sure that this is incorrectly there. So make sure that's in. And this is in here. Looks in. Now grab that tiny, tiny screw that was meant to go in your bin. Hand twist it. And then grab your T8 Torx screwdriver. And finish the rest. So that's your bin. Done. Cyclone, fully cleaned, bin, fully cleaned and assembled. To start this off, we want to put the trigger in here first. Now this can be a bit tricky as well. If you haven't done trigger assembly, it does get tricky. You're gonna grab your medium-sized screw. So this screw, if you put it in the correct pile, it's different from them all. So you can tell that one screw is different from all those ones over there. So I'm gonna get this screw, and we're just gonna put it in the trigger right here. And we're just gonna screw it in just a little bit, okay? That's it. Next, we're gonna have this lined up straight. This straight. And our goal is to put it through there, the hole. Okay. And then we're gonna see it from this side. We're gonna have a bird's eye view. And we wanna first get the cord through first. If you can't get the cord through first, you just have to kind of reposition it every time. And sometimes we're going to have one stubborn one, so we're going to look over, and then we're going to help with some screwdriver. Sometimes they don't want to come out, okay? So we're just going to have to force them to come out like so, and then pull, pull, pull until it stops you from pulling. Go underneath, and you want to tighten that screw up. Okay, tighten until it stops. If it keeps twisting, it means you've cracked it, or it's been cracked. So you need to replace the handle. That's on. Next part's a little tricky too. So how I deal with it is that these two, I twist them to the side, and they're kind of sleeping together. Put this on the top, and the wire. Now this part right here. Right, then we go put it in the bed.
And then we put these through. And I'm just going to put my finger here so they just don't bend. Okay, just kind of help it. Sometimes it works, depending on the wires, I guess. That's going through. And we want to kind of position this in the middle of them too, okay? And then once done, you want to pull them out. And then there's two little clips here we want to press down. To install those next ones, we've got these two small screws. Make sure not to use the ones that look like this. We don't want to use those. They're for the motor. We want to use these small ones, okay? So they've got no discs around them. I pre-tighten them with my hand just to get them in position so they don't fall out. Then with your T8, it's good. Put that to the side. You've done the handle for now. Next, I'm going to put our mesh part back in. Then we want to neatly put our motor back as so. Push in till you get this. Good job, guys. Looks very good, very clean. I hope you guys are doing well on this journey. It's very difficult, but you guys can do it. Well done. Next, we want to get our Maximo button, and we want to put it through the hole up here, like so. And then when it looks like this, guys, we want to put it in here, clip it in, just like so. Make this line up. Okay, now this part could be a little bit tricky as well. We want to, I'm going to grab my handle like so, but first, I'll make it easier because I do a bit of a harder way because I like things being original as possible, but this is a good way too. With the connectors here, we can bend them. So meaning it's going to go in easier. So I'm just going to grab a connector with my plier and I'm just going to bend slightly 1, 2. Okay, I'm going to do it with the next one here. Bend slightly 1, 2. And they look like something like this. Cool, whatever. Next, we're going to line this up. We're going to put the motor in. I'll put the motor in. We're lining this part up to be in this up here. And we're lining this down here for these to go through. Okay, so very slowly, take your time, line up the wire and line up the top, and your goal is the top and wire to get in first. Okay, so that wire doesn't want to get in, you're just going to kind of introduce it to the door. And then you want to kind of, if you bend them correctly, then bend them all the way. You want to get them through. Make sure that wire, so always make sure this wire just goes in the middle, okay? So we just want it to go in the middle. I'm going to re-bend them just a little bit because okay, excellent, like I said. And there you go, that's perfectly in. We want to re-bend them down now. okay? And you can just push them in, just push them. They're lined up and they're ready for those screws to go in. So these ones here, the little discs around them. So we want to line it up. Very difficult doing these with gloves, but we're dealing with a lot of dust, so I prefer to use gloves. And you're going to do that a lot. You're going to drop these screws depending if you're wearing gloves or not. We just want to line it up, guys. Hope you can see, because we want to reline it up. Okay, sometimes it can be tricky, sometimes it can't, depending on the way it's done. Okay, so I'm just going to put my thumb there while I get the screw with my other hand to have it lined up. Okay, that looks in. While that's in, I'm just going to give it a little drill with a T8. There we go. That's in. So that one's in. And now we want to get the next one. Kind of same technique, but when we are done with this, we don't want these connectors to touch, okay? So make sure these connectors aren't touching. There you go. They're done. Next, put this wire under this connector here. And now we're just gonna put it back to sleep into its little bed here. So we want to put it back into its little black bed there. And you just want him to go to sleep, okay? Make sure you're not rough with this, okay? And then that's pressed in like so. It's back to bed, and then we'll grab that wire, and we'll grab this, and you just want to stick it in the middle there, okay? That's where we're going to position it. Next, we want to put our cover on. And make sure you guide it through this part, and keep it and pop out, and click. Our two remaining screws for that section. T8 again. One more. And that is your motor done. Well done, guys. Now we just want to line it up with a Cyclone. So, as so, we want to line up the slider bar. We want to slide it in. And that's in. If by any chance it doesn't go in, it's because these connectors, they're not in, so you got to straighten them up so they line up with that, okay? So put that, then you want to put in the 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Phillips head screws, okay? So Phillips head, guys. The camera focuses. They're the cross ones. They're hard to see, huh? See there? They're the cross ones there. So you want to put those in around. Next, just want to put our battery in. Okay, 3 Phillips heads again. And make sure you press this battery, hold it pressed in, while we put the screws in. screw a little bit in. Okay, there you go. That's the main Cyclone assembly in. All done. Put that to the side. Now we're going to go with the head. And this part, yeah, look, can be tricky. But like anything, we've just done the trickiest part. Okay. We literally just conquered the trickiest part. Sometimes it's scary when you see, if you see a leftover screw, a leftover part, and you're like, what? Okay guys, make sure to follow this part very carefully. We're gonna grab our wiring. We're gonna put this V-wheel joint back on. So we just wanna put them through the big hole. Make that go down, whatever I want, okay? We're gonna grab this, the turnaround, and we wanna put this part here, back into its bed right here. Okay, that's in its bed. And we want to give it a stretch, these wires. So we want to stretch them out neatly across. Try to line it up as nice as you can, guys. Sometimes it can be tricky, especially this part here when we're dealing with wires, okay? Make sure the white's on the right, the black's on the left. Make sure it's all lineared. We can use a screwdriver as well, just to get it into its shapes properly. Just make sure not to cut it. Great. Next, unclip this. And we want to run it through, okay, like this. Make sure you push it, okay. Now we just want to put it back to bed. If you make sure the wires are in correctly. And back to bed it goes. So that's back in. Next, we want to line this up, the screw holder. You see the screw hole goes in like so. And next, you want to grab the small one. And it has a bit of like a shiny silver outline on it. Okay, it's a small one. Make sure that screw's lineared. T8. Screw in. Next, we want to grab our head shell, and we want to line it up. Okay, so wires are moved, and we want to put this in. And we just want to try and put this over this shell here. And pushed in like that, okay? Next, we'll grab this black wire and we want to put it in the back there to go in the back of here. So that will go that way. And the right will go this way. Cool. Next, the wires. We want to grab the white wire will be on the left here. The black wire will be on the right here. Now, we want to do the following. I've got to do it against my jacket here. The white wire will have to go in this part here. Okay. The black wire will go on the other side. Make sure they're lined up because they won't fit if they're not lined up as so. Next, we want to put this clipping cover on, and we just want to line it up like so. That's lined up, and we just want to get a small little screw. Should be the size of this. And then we just want to hand screw it a bit into its hole. Then use a screwdriver T8 for the rest, if you can. Make sure it's not slipping out, guys. Next, then, we want to give it a turn. Because we want the white wire to be on the left facing this way, and the black wire to be on the right facing this way. And then we want to give it a click down. Okay, then we want to pull out these wires because they're the excess. And then we just want to just line it up. Okay, if you can, just line up these wires. Use a screwdriver if you have to. Same for here. Next, we want to put a cover on. Put this bit, and then spread, then push. So you hear one click, and we'll hear 3 clicks. Sometimes this can be hard to put on, so we might need to use a screwdriver. We're going to try and push it in and click in here. Done. We're going to try and push it in the other side and click in there. Perfect. Next, we want to grab these 2 screws here. These 2 screws look like this. Remember, they have that silver outline on them. We want to put them in these holes here, but we want to make sure that there's nothing in the way of these holes, okay? So we want to, do you see something in the way? We just want to move the joint, and then once the joint's moved, we can slide it in perfectly. And use your T8. Till it stops tighten. Same for the other side. That's done. So now, we'll put the V-wheels on last. We want to grab our sole plate. And what we want to do, we want the head here, is we want to line up
this part and this part to go into that part there and that part in there. So how I do this is I grab it and I put it on the top part first up here, and then clip into the bottom part there. Next, make sure it's like this, guys. Yeah, make sure it's perfect like this. Next, turn it to the side by holding that, and we want to put this in. Okay, so we just want to line it up in there. Great. And we just want to also put these wires, put them in here a bit so they don't get cut. Next, we'll put the protector, I guess the plastic protector. I'll lift this up a bit and put that in, as so. Next, we want to line up these wires. So what I do is just push them across. We'll put this part in its bed again. Then I go across. Go across and make sure it goes back in its bed. Okay, make sure they're in properly, like so. Next, protector bar. And we just want to kind of want to spread it a bit, not too far. And we just main goal want to get these part in. Push that there. That's in there. Next, the screws. We're going to start with the bottom one there. Should be that small one. Your very last small one. If you can magnetic it, you can. If you can't, you just got to put it back in. Right down there. And you want to put that there. And these are the remaining T8s, the long ones. Great. Now, just with a brush bar real quick, into the smallest one, which is that one there. You see where it's got the dot side? You can see. It's got the dots. I'm going to put that down, not all the way. Line up, put it down. And we want to put the red in too. I'm going to go down with it. Like so. And we're going to do the bristle one. And this one should be this way. Just want to go around nicely. Okay, next, line this up. And we'll get this part here against the black one. Then you want to put in our bearing. push in. Then our last screw, which is that one. Remember, you can use a T8 or T10 for that. Screw on. Put your brush light end cap on. Put it in here. Put it on. And now we want to put it back on. As so, just slide, put in and slide. Then down this way and clip in. Okay, now I have some brand new wheels that I'm going to throw on. The big wheels. And I'm going to put them here. So, wheel, and then the small linear one. And then you want to get your screw, you want the Phillips heads and your Phillips head, and you want to put it in. Make sure it spins nicely. Okay. Next side. Next, you got your little sole plate wheels. Put them in, and then depending what side we're going on, we'll go this one. We'll keep it a small gap. Put that in, line it up. That's in. Now we just want to press down with our screwdriver. And it's in against the metal bar. Make sure not to go through it, yeah? Like that. Same thing. This side. Small gap. And then press. There you go. So that's how you take apart and service and deep clean your Dyson, okay? What I recommend doing when you do a service is always replacing the filter. Just replace it once a year. To replace the filter, to know when to, if the fabric gets way too hard, just the fabric around it, so where it has the symbols of the wash, of the tap, if around there is just a bit too hard, we want to replace it, okay? What makes it too hard is if we leave it out in the sun for too long, or if we use it on max mode too much, okay guys? So be careful using the max mode. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know down below. Always subscribe, and yeah, we'll go from there. Happy vacuuming.